Welcome to the Desert Scene with Bonnie G from the Mutual Broadcasting System, where we explore the vibrant world of arts, culture, and entertainment in the desert. Join us as we uncover the hidden gems and shining stars that make this arid landscape burst with creativity. Brought to you by El Portal Mexican Restaurant in Cathedral City, where authentic cuisine meets affordable prices. Diving into the desert oasis of talent and inspiration, here's Bonnie.
And welcome to the Desert Scene. So happy to have you here, and very happy to welcome to the show Ken Page, who's a wonderful performer who's going to be doing a cabaret show at CV Rep, part of their 2024 Summer Cabaret Series. Hi, Ken. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
It's very early there, right?
It's 10 o'clock. Early enough. I was going to say.
10 o'clock. Okay, that's not too bad.
You sound, wide awake. So I'm looking.
Something like that.
I'm looking at your bio. Really interesting. So Broadway theater, film, films include Dreamgirls, Torch Song Trilogy, All Dogs Go to Heaven, and I love this. You provided the voice of Mr. Oogie Boogie and the classic Disney Tim Burton film, The Nightmare Before Christmas, which I'm one of the few people that hasn't seen that. I'm going to have to go see it now.
Oh, you're kidding me. You have to see it. You'll become a big fan, I think.
Okay. And the thing that really stood out, though, was the fact that you auditioned for the original Broadway production of Ain't Misbehavin' because a friend said you looked like Fats Waller. You didn't know how to play the piano, but got the job anyway and won a Drama Desk Award. How did you manage to do that?
Who knows? As Fats would say, one never knows, do one. No, well, in the show I didn't have to play piano, so that was it. Luther Henderson, our amazing musical director, God rest him, he played the piano, but I was the sort of physical embodiment of Fats. Each of us was a part of his character. He was that multifaceted, if you will, but I had the physical look, and that brought that to the show, which it wouldn't have had otherwise.
Yeah, that's important. So let's go back. So you started your career in St. Louis. Is that where you were born and raised?
I was born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri. I started my career at the Muni, which then was called the Muni Opera back in '73. By the way, I'm there now performing in Les Miserables. I'm playing the Bishop of Digne.
Excellent.
And we have two more performances. But that's where I started, and I got my equity card here at the Muni and then went on to New York. But I am a St. Louis resident and native son. So
did you know as a child, did you start performing as a child? Did you know this was what you wanted to do with your life?
Well, in retrospect, yes and no. You don't really know when you're a child, but you enjoy some part of it. I sang, Why Do We Tip Our Hats to the Priest when I was in first grade. And before that, I had sung Easter Parade for some sort of puppet show in kindergarten. So I was already out there, if you will, with my talent. And as I was fortunate enough to have it honed in grade school with a few things, and then high school, of course, music and drama, and college, theater training and so forth. So, I guess I always knew. I can't think of anything else I ever wanted to do, if that's any key. There was never consideration. When I went to college, I was awarded 3 scholarships, one for music, one for art, and one for theater.
Wow.
And I chose theater because it was the one where I thought I could incorporate all 3. Because the other 2 were pretty stringent. Art was just that, and music was classically trained, and I already had taken voice and so forth. So I wanted to do the thing that I could do the most with, which was theater.
Now, did you have 2 questions? Did you have anyone else in your family who was theatrical? And A, and B, did they support your career choice?
Well, A, my whole family is theatrical.
Okay.
Not in the business, mind you, but theatrical. My mother dabbled a little bit in singing and worked with some doo-wop groups back in the day and everything, but not really in the business.
Yeah.
As far as support, absolutely. I was very lucky to have teachers and family. Well, I don't know if they understood it all so much, but my mother was very open-minded and very forward-thinking, and I think she really understood that I had a talent that I was, by grace of the Great Spirit, honing along the way, even as I was a kid, And I think the support was there to give me the sense that it was all right to be me and to do what I was doing, which a lot of people coming up don't have.
You're very lucky, yes. So when you went to New York, did you find work right away? Did you do a lot of pounding the pavement? How did that go for you?
Well, It felt like I was pounding the pavement, but it really was very fast. The first job I got was like maybe 5 months after I got there, and I was doing Huckleberry Finn with a wonderful children's ensemble group called Fanfare. And after that, I was cast in third national tour Pearly in the ensemble and an understudy. And we came back from that, and only a few months after that, Guys and Dolls, which was my Broadway debut, the all-black production, came up, and I was in it and on my way on Broadway.
Wow.
So it really wasn't. It was all within 2 years, which seems short, and yet it felt long at the time. When you're 21, as I was at the time, you want everything to happen, and it almost did happen as fast as I wanted.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a long, drawn-out, beat the pavement. I did all the prerequisites, worked at the Department of Social Services, temp work, which I don't even hear that term anymore, temp work.
Yeah.
I did do that, So I did all the things. I just did them all in a sort of compacted way.
Yeah. How would you describe your performing style, your singing style, your persona on stage? How would you describe yourself?
I don't know, because I've never really seen myself that way. That's what I could say, to be honest. What I try to do is present a stage version of me. I try to keep it, because this is a cabaret or concert situation, so you don't have to pretend to be someone else as you would with a character. But I also try to personify myself in a certain sort of way. And it's a mix. I've been doing it. I did my first cabaret in 1976, which is, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, but it was a long time ago. But even then, right away, I had the sense that I was there and people came to see me because they wanted to see me. They didn't want to see me being someone else. And somewhere along the way, I think in an odd way, you sort of hone a character that is you, but it isn't completely you. It's a little bit you and a little bit of the presentation of you.
Right.
But in the end, you do come up with something that is basically your true self for the audience, because that's what they really, I hope, come to see.
Absolutely. We're here with Ken Page. We're going to take a short break on the Desert Scene. We'll be right back.
Craving a delicious meal that won't break the bank? Look no further than El Portal Mexican Restaurant in Cathedral City. At El Portal, we pride ourselves on offering family-friendly dining with affordable prices on our authentic Mexican cuisine. Owner Victor Lupercio and his dedicated staff make you feel like part of the family. Whether you choose to dine in, take out, or opt for delivery, you can always count on fresh, mouth-watering dishes that will transport you to the heart of Mexico. Enjoy discounts throughout the week and explore one of the Valley's best selections of tequila to complement your meal. Join us for live entertainment on Friday evenings and consider El Portal for your next special occasion with our catering services. Visit eatatelportal.com for more details and discover why El Portal Mexican Restaurant has become a culinary gem in the desert. El Portal, located 1 block south of Ramon on Day Palm and Via Olivera.
And we're back with Ken Page, a wonderful cabaret artist who is going to be performing at CV Rep as part of their 2024 Summer Cabaret Series on June 27th. So tell us a little bit about this particular show. Do you have a theme? How did you choose the songs?
Well, it's a show, to be frank, that I've been doing for quite some time, so it's not one that I necessarily chose just for this occasion. I've been doing it, like I said, my first cabaret show was in 1976. So what I do is I try to add new material. My basic material, of course, is some of the things I've done on Broadway, because this is cabaret/concert, so I try to make sure I do all those things. Other than that, my real thing is to always try to present a show, whatever the material is, that speaks to the now, and it speaks to the heart, and it brings joy. Those are my three things, you know, and I'm very serious about those things, because we're in a world now where joy is at a premium.
Yes.
And we really, anywhere we can get it or give it, we should do that, right? And I try to do things that I think people will enjoy, but I also try to do things that will touch people and help them, not make them, but help them to think about themselves and how they relate to each other and how they relate to people they love, things like that. New love, old love, all of those sort of things, unrequited love. But I don't have a name for this show. I just call it In Concert, because it's just sort of a pan experience in that way. It's, all the things. And basically, I like to have a good time. That's what I like to tell the audience. Don't think you have to sit with your hands folded, or you have to. This is to have a good time. I talk to them. They talk to me, maybe. I include them. I tell a lot of stories about how songs came to be chosen and or the experiences that surround them,
Yeah.
So there's a real rapport and a real dialogue between myself and the audience. And this particular performance was just piano. As you may know, I just did the Purple Room at the top of April, and I had a whole band there.
Yeah.
And it's a different kind of show. This is more personal, and it's more intimate, which I sort of love. And this is the version that I do the most often as I travel around and present it.
And who's on piano for you?
Andy, and you know what? I hate to say this because I'm going to follow up his last name because he came in as a substitute. My usual MD, Bennett Braun, couldn't do it. He got a job in L.A. And his dear friend Andy, and I'm sorry I can't say his last name right this second, but he's going to be filling in, and he's terrific, I'm told. We've never worked together.
You're going to find out.
We're going to see what happens, which makes it a little more exciting.
Yeah.
But it's going to be great because I'm told he's terrific. My MD said he's actually better than me. I shouldn't tell you that. I shouldn't give him the job, but I want you to have the best you could have.
So before the Purple Room, I know you were just at the Purple Room, but before that, had you performed in Palm Springs before?
No, the Purple Room was my first time in Palm Springs, and I was working on that booking for like a year because I really wanted to do it. I love Palm Springs. Many, many, many friends of mine live there now, and I'm trying. My eye is on getting there myself. But so many people I know are there, and I wanted to play there so I could be, they're there, and I figured of a generation, especially, they were around when I was around, and a lot of us were in New York and L.A. together at different times, and I knew they would appreciate the material and the retrospective, if you will, and the present-day idea of who we are, having survived through many, many things up till now, and I knew they were there for that, so I wanted to do that. But just before that, a few days before that, I played the Catalina Jazz Bar in L.A.
Oh, that's a great place.
Oh, it's a great place, great place. And the first time I'd done that, but it was the same thing. It was really a celebration, and everybody came out, and it was so terrific, and we had such a good time, as was the Purple Room. So I know that the CV Rep is going to be the same. There were people who couldn't get to the Purple Room who will be there, and I know they have a wonderful subscription audience.
Yes, they do.
I'm looking forward to bringing them myself.
It's a wonderful theater. Is there anything on your bucket list that you haven't done, a show you want to do or a project that you want to do that's kind of on the back burner?
Well, I'm also a director, so I have a couple of projects that I have actually done. One is called Sublime Intimacy, and the other is called Café Chanson. And I'm hoping, I'm going to talk to the people at CV Rep and see if there's any interest in presenting them there. They're wonderful, and they were received well. That's why I say they're wonderful.
Yeah.
And so I'd love to do those as a director. As an actor, I'm working on doing a piece about Andre Leon Talley. People often in New York at a certain point would come and go, Mr. Talley, I just love what you do. And I was like, I'm not Andre Leon Talley. And I didn't see the likeness, if you will, and I mean in spirit, not just physically. But since he's passed, and I did get to meet him, and I communicated with him about it, and he was very funny. He says, "Oh, you want to play me?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, I'm thinking about it." He says, we'll work on it and get back to me.
I'm
going to get back to him in doing it. That's what I'm going to do. And he's such an amazing man, and he sits in a very specific place in the world of fashion and the world of black culture, and on and on and on. And I think certainly, the documentary that's out there, The Gospel According to Andre, is amazing. And I saw him here. He was in St. Louis to do something in connection with the Art Museum. And I thought to myself, well, as long as he's alive, there's no reason to do a show about him because he is his show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was so entertaining himself. But now that he's gone, I think it might be an interesting thing to present something about him. So that's one of my dream projects.
I think that would be excellent.
As an actor, and the other two, as I said, as a director,
And I can see, the picture I'm looking at, there's some resemblance, definitely. Well, it's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
June 27th at CV Rep, 7 p.m. You can get tickets online, www.cvrep.org, or call 760-296-2966, extension 115. Ken Page, what a delight chatting with you. Best of luck, and I'm so happy you're performing in Palm Springs. Have a great show.
Me too. And everybody come on out and get some joy. That's what I'm giving for free.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Ken Page, thank you. And the rest of you, we'll see you the next time on The Desert Scene.
The Desert Scene is a production of the Mutual Broadcasting System and is sponsored by El Portal Mexican Restaurant. Eat at elportal.com.